Good morning, everybody. Hope your weekend turned out great. We had kind of a gray, drizzly, damp weekend here. Not much in the way of moisture, but sure made for good fires. And if you were so inclined, sitting around the fire and coffee, tea, cocoa, or adult beverages. So it is getting close to Christmas. We actually have gone from forecasts of 45 to 50 into Christmas to it's a wintry mix tomorrow, so who knows? All subject to change. Hope you had a great weekend wherever you may be. This is a week that favors higher equity prices and sideways prices in financials just off of seasonals. The auction is this week. The Fed pretty much will be shut down all next week. Bank of Japan is on holiday today. Volumes are very, very light overnight. So I think the biggest dynamic that we'll face is the 2-year auction today. And that's almost always a great one, so a good one. Market can trade down a little bit into it. So I think the place that looks the most attractive to be a buyer would be this 12 to 6 support in this 12 to 16 area, keying off this volume that we have from 14 to 12.5. So we're going to start today trying to buy 17s to 13s. We may have to pay out. But we're going to hopefully get a little help from the stock market, which is scheduled. It looks like it's going to trade higher this morning. We'll make 5 to 9 buy 2. On the sell side, 23 to 27, that's just where current resistance is. And then 31 to 03.
Tell your doctor
Today's news, existing home sales,
urinating or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops.
5.2 M, and that's where it all starts.
If your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, or problems.
There's very few contracts that are written without
nothing can reverse COPD.
contingent on me selling my home. Chicago Fed's business activity index is called plus 0.23. No one will pay any attention to that, but it's a pretty good, probably pretty good barometer of where the business activity is in the United States, and it's really been 0 to plus 0.25 since 09. It's pretty well how that range. A couple times it's been below 0, but for most of the time it's been above 0. So I imagine that will hold again today. So I look for quiet trading. I don't look for a lot of volume, but I do think the bias is to the upside because of this week's auction and the 2-year, especially today because of the 2-year. We're going to try to buy it on the cheap. It may take 20s to get in. We'll have to see. Cheap Charlie. Okay, the knob spread pretty much held in. It was up a little bit this morning when I first looked at it, about 5. So it's probably the impetus behind the selling right now. Got this 144 even area, so 44.01.05 will be buy 1. And then 25.29 will be buy 2. On the sell side, you got the London low at 13. You've got the T period high at 15. So we'll make it 15 to 19, give it a little bit of room. This has got extra volatility. And then our 23.27 for sell 2. And on the sell side, 11 is kind of an important number. We got this low at 13. We got a W at 12. We got a V at 14, and we've got a T at 15. So 12 to 16 is where they're selling now, so it may take an 11 to get off a short. Gold was pretty much unchanged over the weekend. When I looked at it first this morning, it was at 11.96. I think that's where we went out on Friday. So pretty quiet March, all things said and done. Biggest news internationally was China, which was widely expected, has stepped in and helped Russia. Will help them get through their currency crisis. All part of Russia and China's efforts to chip away at the United States dominance militarily and monetarily around the globe, and they're probably going to be fairly successful. So we still have our seller really just above 1200. So 1200.02 is, which is where we were on Friday. Sell 1, 5 to 7. I don't look for a lot today. Just because of the holidays, and I'd like to buy it a little cheap, so we'll start out 90 to 92, but we've had a couple of Bs that haven't been able to get much below 93. We'll see how that works out. Let them, they know there's stops there, so, and then the area I really like is the 85, 87. Okay, the euro strengthened over the weekend. Draghi came out and said that deflation is a problem. A couple of months ago, I put an article up. They were talking about how deflation was not a problem, and it's the same problem every central bank has been facing since 2008. Deflation and what it does to the world's economies, highly leveraged economies, is what they've been fighting. So one thing that central banks have done right is maintain liquidity. There have been no bank failures. Every bank has been propped up by the United States Central Bank, including major banks around the globe. And the problem that the central banks have faced is that the policies and administration of the governing bodies have been anti-business, anti-growth. And the European Union, if you think it's bad in the States, the European Union has it in spades. So the UK, the United States, China has shown modest growth during this period. The EU has really been struggling. So the big growth figure in the EU is 1%, and that wouldn't, I mean, that's within the realm of statistical noise, so to speak. Hard to say what you got at plus or minus 1%. So I do like the short side of the market long term because that's what the European Central Bank likes. We structurally right here, this 75 area to 85, that's where we are right now. So we're going to make 75, 85, sell 1, and then 23 even plus or minus 5 for sell 2. On the buy side, support is at 50, so 40 to 50, buy 1. And then 20 to 30 for buy 2. Japan's central bank is closed today on holidays, so probably can't get a hell of a lot going, especially in the euro-yen spread, without the Bank of Japan's presence. Okay, several articles out this morning on crude. Don't be surprised by a rally to $70. We'll take a look at the F1 screen, see where that number has come from. And that's a long ways away. Well, there's a, right here in this chart, I can make a fairly strong case for 73. And right here, 69.50, so stops above 70 would come from those 2 days right there. And right now, we're a ways away from that. Saudi Arabia has said that they're not going to cut production. It's up to the rest of the world to cut production. They're not going to do it. One article will say that Saudi Arabia is taking out Russia and Iran. The other articles will come in and say it's directed against the United States as a major oil producer. Who knows? I'd say it's probably a combination of both. So you can see right down here, where this 56, 50, 56 area right here is where value or volume is being produced right now, or is being made. So 56, 56, 50 is probably the area, if you wanted to get long, is where you ought to think about doing it. Okay, London again. London, for crude oil and gold and market change, it's just a fabulous time frame to trade. So those of you that can take advantage of London, you need to think about doing such. Okay, 50 to 25 is where support is, so that's buy one. And then 55, 50, 55, 75 is buy two. We're going to lean against this high volume number at 55.90. Right there's the attractor. It stops beneath that. On the sell side, 57.25, 57.50, then 75 to the buck. Saudi Arabia has told the world exactly what they're going to do. Saudi Arabia is like the Fed. They tell you what they're going to do, and then they go ahead and do it, and then you try to second guess them, and what are their motives, what are they really trying to do, say right here. And I don't know if it's the United States they're trying to take out, Iran, Russia, or a combination of all three. My guess is it would be a combination of all three. They can really, really hurt Russia and Iran and what they're doing in and around the Gulf. And they can take out the United States simultaneously. Life could be pretty good, albeit at a great deal of financial pain for themselves. Okay, here we are. We've got resistance all the way up to 80. So 75 to 80 is pretty good resistance. And so our first sell is going to be 75 plus or minus. And our second sell is going to be 79 to 81. On the buy side, there's going to be support right here in this high volume area, 67. So 65, 67 is going to be buy one. And buy two is going to be 60 to 62. So I'm seeing 60, 65 as support and 75, 80 as resistance. And if we don't get a big day going early, we'll probably trade in between that range. Volumes are pretty low during this week, but the bias is clearly higher during this week, and even more so after Christmas into the New Year's. So I think anybody that's long the stock market right now probably isn't planning on doing too much with it. And traders will be looking to work the buy side to take advantage of seasonals. Okay, it'll take about 20 minutes to get everything up. I'm going to get busy on that. See you as soon as I can later.